Hi, I'm John DeVore. Welcome to the channel. Today's a record review, and it reminds me a little bit of being at one of those parties where you meet someone and all they can talk about is how advanced and precocious their child is. Oh, Buffy is playing piano at a 6th grade level and she's only in 5th and a half grade. It's, it's a little tiring. And so what you may consider is shutting them up with something like this. I'm a big Mendelssohn fan. Mendelssohn, by the way, Felix Mendelssohn. When I was talking to my kid about Mendelssohn, and when they heard the name, they started cracking up. I'm like, what are you laughing about? And they were like, Mendelssohn! It sounds like the name of some mad scientist's sidekick. Mendelssohn, where are you? I need more body parts. Mendelssohn! Anyway, so now it always cracks me up. But Mendelssohn was very precocious and very advanced. They are quite famous for a couple of pieces that they wrote when they were 16 and 17. So their octet and the first sketches and the overture for Midsummer Night's Dream. Very famous. The Midsummer Night's Dream scherzo is an extremely famous piece. As is the Wedding March later on in that piece, but that was written when he was an adult. But very precocious little kid. And I'm a big fan of Mendelssohn. I like a lot of the music. There's a huge, not huge compared to Haydn or Mozart or Bach, but a very well-respected, great, cello concertos. Their symphonies are fantastic. But these are the 13 symphonies for string orchestra, and I had never heard of these. I happened upon this box set. This is the complete set of symphonies for string orchestra. I think it's 8 LPs in here. And one of the things that I do when I'm buying records, it's a justification for buying too much shit. But that is when I'm buying on Discogs, for example. Before I check out, so usually on Discogs I'm on a mission to find a specific record. Look around, find it, find a good seller, find the condition that I'm looking for, the price that I'm willing to pay, drop it in my cart. But then before I check out, I'm like, I should probably, in order to save on shipping, I should buy more records from this same seller. Right? Makes sense. A very efficient way to end up with tons of records. And so that's what I did with this guy. This seller happened to have a bunch of classical in excellent condition, generally M- condition. And they were cheap. This was the full box set with 8 LPs in it. It was $2. And so I searched through his stuff, click, 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 and this was one of the pieces that I got. And I didn't know anything about this piece, these pieces. Started playing it, sounded great. That's another thing, you know, $2. So how do you get a $2 record that sounds great? Well, the first thing you do is you don't only look for London Bluebacks or Mercury Living Presence or Shaded Dog 1S. You know, you need to branch out. This is a record from the label Hungaroton from, you guessed it, Hungary. They are almost always very cheap. They are often great sounding, and they are generally Eastern European musicians and orchestras. So you don't necessarily, they're not like the big top 10 artists of the 20th century. However, they are often excellent. These performances are by the Liszt Ferenc Chamber Orchestra. Leader is János Rolla, or Roya, I don't know how to pronounce Hungarian. Artistic director Frigyes Sándor, or something like that. Anyway, I didn't know anything about, this is 1978, MHV recording. I didn't know anything about these pieces, and it turns out that that's because these are from even fucking earlier. Felix was not even a teenager. These pieces were written by a little 12-year-old Jewish boy in Germany in the 1800s. I think he was born in the 1820s sometime. 12. So reality check there, all of you proud parents. I guess they're not that well known. I've never seen a recording of it. Like I said, I didn't know anything about these pieces. They're delicious, all of them. Maybe because they were written by a 12-year-old. I don't know. I guess, you know, the later ones were written by, he was 14-ish when he wrote the later ones. They're sort of like exercises. I read up on them a little bit when I started listening, and I was loving them. And they are little homages to many of his favorite composers. So homages to Bach, as you will hear in the pieces I think that I'm going to play in the intro and outro. Some of the later ones are Mozart, a lot of Haydn influence, and even a little Beethoven. Beethoven was closer in there, but definitely a little bit of some Beethoven, but really a lot of Bach and a lot of Haydn in these, and they're just delicious. The simplicity is just so easy to digest. You put them on, and they just kind of carry you away. Very carefree, highly recommended, and just lovely. And if you can find this box set, it's probably going to be really cheap, and it sounds great. And I highly recommend it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the next video.